This is one of my absolute favorite stories. A while ago, I was taking care of a little kid who was under 3 years old, so still pretty young. And I was taking this child to the park. It was a very hot summer day. So as we were packing up to go, and we had grabbed a snack and all the other tools you would need to go play at the park, the kid had made a grab for some ice, and we put it in a sippy cup. I said, "Oh yeah, of course, that's fine. It's a hot day. It might be nice to have some cool ice." We walked to the park, and with a very little kid, this can take some time, and it was really, really hot that day. So by the time we got to the park, settled in, opened up our bag, grabbed all the things that we needed to play with, the kid pulled out the sippy cup of ice and saw that the ice had melted. A tantrum ensued. The kid couldn't really express themselves fully, but I imagine they were saying, "This isn't fair. My ice should still be here. I wanted to play with it. This ice should not have melted." Now, as an adult, looking at this scene, I kind of had my hands tied. We all know, as adults, that a property of ice is that it melts on a really hot day. But the kid didn't know that, and the kid wanted it to be different. So I think this story is so interesting because we can see in the case of looking at this kid that the tantrum was kind of unnecessary. It wasn't going to help anything. It wasn't going to change the property of the ice. It wasn't going to make the ice form whole again from water. But from the kid's perspective, they were really upset. And I think a lot of times, and probably more situations than I can go in today, as adults, we can have a tendency to throw a tantrum when the way we dictate in our minds that the world should be doesn't actually turn out to be that way. So we might get upset and say, "My computer shouldn't break right now," and kind of throw a tantrum that some piece of technology has broken. Or a friend should have behaved differently, and we could throw a tantrum because the way that we wanted the interaction to go didn't really go that way. Or even, and I see this a lot in my work, I should be further along. I should be further in my life or in my career or in my accomplishments. And we're just arguing with the kind of fact of whatever is going on in this moment. And I just want to pose to you today, how often does this arguing and fighting with what's actually happening around us get in the way of us being present and being able to cope with the situation at hand? We all know that arguing because our phone just broke isn't going to get it fixed, but then when we can be calm enough to make the necessary call or buy the necessary fix, then we can get it done. But that arguing piece, it just upsets us, and it doesn't really get anything done. And furthermore, how often does it get in the way of us enjoying our day at the park?